Video just released today showing a shooting that left an off-duty Chicago police officer hurt. This shooting happening back on August 3rd in the 4800 block of South Bishop Street. The Civilian Office of Police Accountability, COPA, says the officer was pulling into a garage when three men get out of a separate car. They then opened fire as that garage door closes. Investigators say the officer fired back. He wasn't hit by gunfire, did suffer a minor injury. No one's in custody in this case either.
All right. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. All praises due to the Most High. And that is a shooting that happened on August the 3rd in Chicago. And I am going to show you some still footage or some slowed down footage of that assault. And what it looks like to me is those are not just regular run-of-the-mill suspects. Those actually look like white men, possibly police officers. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that later on in the video. But watch this other news clip, which is a little longer, and you will hear that that is actually a woman off-duty police officer. And you're going to hear that when she makes the 911 call. When these suspects, quote-unquote suspects, try to execute her. And this video is in fair use for literary and commentary purposes only. Just check this out.
Crime Stoppers now offering a $1,000 reward for the arrest of 4 gunmen involved in a shootout with an off-duty Chicago police officer. That's the moment 4 people drove down an alley near 48th and Bishop in a white sedan on August 3rd. The masked suspects then opened fire on the off-duty officer. After an exchange of gunfire, the officer called 911. 911,
I'm an off-duty officer. They shot at me. I shot back. They're in a white sedan, 4-door, multiple heads.
The officer wasn't shot, only injured by broken glass. The white sedan was later found burned near 46th and Winchester. COPA is investigating. Crime Stoppers offering that cash reward of $1,000 for any information that leads to the arrest of those suspects.
All right, so there you hear it is clearly a woman. The first news report that we heard, they said the officer, he was not hurt in the shootout, and so that is the first contradiction that raises my antennas. But also, they are only offering a $1,000 reward. A $1,000 reward for people who tried to kill an officer. Now, if you look closely at that attack, and I'm going to show you just the footage without any noise, we're going to slow it down. If you look very closely, that looks like an organized hit. They knew when that officer was getting home. You can see them pass by the alley when, before the officer parked, then they backed up and they came through the alley. They stopped. They got out, coordinated, and they shot, and then they got back in the car and sped off. Also, the car was burned. Who burns cars? If you're a thug and if you are, a shooter, you just dump the car somewhere, right? Who burns cars after they commit crimes? So just take a look at this slowed down footage, and we're going to analyze it and why I believe that there is something more sinister to this situation. All right, and so here you see the officer pulling up to the driveway, to the garage. You see, now that car right there, you see that white car pass through the alleyway, and you'll see it at the top left of your screen back up. So that means they were target. They knew where this person was going to be at. Now they come through. They come through speeding. Now, I don't know if they fired shots right here. You see that guy get out right there? Look at that hand. Stop it right there. Look at that hand. That is a white hand. Now, you might say that they're wearing gloves, but I think that that is a clearly a white hand. And you're going to see, you see there's some shots coming from the garage. So this officer evidently knew who they were and why they were coming. And you see how they get in tactical positions? Don't that look like how a police would do, getting close to the wall, and the other one is back providing cover? And look at those hands holding the gun. Those are white hands. And you see the guy in the middle as he gets to the street. Look at those legs. Those are white legs. Look at their stances. And that guy is backing up like he has training. And all of them get in the car and ride off. And you see they blur out the actual license plates. If this person, why are you blurring out the actual license plates? Now let's play it in full swing once again without stopping it. And you let me know what you see in the comments. It looks like that officer was already firing. Now, y'all tell me, does that not look like an organized hit? That's one more time. Now, let's look at this officer backing in. The top left, watch the car back up. And then come flying down the alleyway. Now look at that white hand. Look at these white hands and white legs. Those are white legs. And look how with such precision and such preciseness that they pulled off that mission, that exercise. And so that's why the caption reads, 4 men ambush that officer. And you remember earlier this year where there was a Chicago police officer who was shot accidentally by her partner while chasing a suspect. And then on the way to the hospital, the police car that she was riding in to get to the hospital mysteriously burst into flames. And many people feel like that was a targeted hit on that officer. Some people say that she was set to meet with a superior to disclose some information. If you remember last year as well, I had the police officer Jackie from Chicago talk about the things that she endured in the Chicago Police Department. And we have heard several stories of whistleblowers from that Chicago area that mysteriously disappeared as they were police officers and began to expose certain things. So I do not think that this could not be one of those incidents. And I've heard several instances or several stories or assertions that a lot of these quote unquote drive-bys that are done in Chicago where they're blaming on black kids are done by assassination squads like this, who are actually police, masked up, dressed in all black, coming through black neighborhoods and shooting people up and then blaming it on other neighborhoods. Now, that has also been kind of documented throughout all of this melee. So when you hear about Chicago, and I rarely do anything on Chicago because it's always, the black on black crime, the shootings, but now I might have to take a deeper dive into this. After looking at this was a targeted hit, that officer knew you can see that officer firing even before they got out of the car. And so that officer, knew probably her assailants, I'm going to say, but they may have been police officers coming to quiet her or shut her up because she was about to expose some things. So there are several levels to, the Chicago thing that is going on that if you're not there, you don't know. But, I've heard and, people have kind of documented some of those shootings in Chicago are done by police masked up as gang members, as you saw. Those were white men. I would bet my bottom dollar. You can let me know in the comments if you disagree, and that's fine. But I think that those were white men coming, because do you see the preciseness? They drove by that alley, they backed up, they pulled in, they stopped out of the line of fire, they got out, one snake close to the house, another stayed, behind, and another came in a tactical position. Hey, those were police tactics, if you ask me. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this video in the comments. Y'all see the number 919-587-7782. Thank y'all for watching, liking, sharing, and commenting, and subscribing to the channel. If you have not subscribed, I'm asking you to hit that little subscribe button, which helps me grow this channel and push my videos more frequently and more regularly into the internet space. But as always, thank you, and I wish you peace and blessings. As the scripture says, all things that are hidden shall be revealed, and those things done in secret shall be exposed on the mountaintop.
Let's go, Rich. Let's go. You watching Telehouse Publishing, breaking news coverage. Give you the truth before fake news throw mud in it. Before the jury decide and the judge discover it, you should tune in to Telehouse Publishing. Telehouse Publishing, breaking news coverage. The propaganda grammar, don't believe none of it. Before the jury decide and the judge discover it, you should tune in to Telehouse Publishing. Telehouse Publishing, breaking news coverage. Give you the truth before fake news throw mud in it. Before the jury decide and the judge discover it, you should tune in to Telehouse Publishing.
Negroes have listened to the trickery and the lies and the false promises of the white man now for too long.